Hi everyone, welcome to our week 6 exercise 5. And the team members are Devi, Gopika, David, Priyanka, and Saurav. So for the first task, we were given a scenario where we had to explain which meetings will be conducted and in which order. So for first meeting, they will proceed.
Thank you, Priyanka. So from this scenario, we decided the first meeting it should be committee meeting. So in this meeting, we will discuss the new idea, the strategy and approach to implement the new data science and visualization competency. And then the next one will be Kopika.
After getting approval for the new idea, we'll be going for kickoff meeting. And in kickoff meeting, we'll bring the team together, which can help or which can increase the team cohesion. And the next meeting will be explained by David.
Okay, thank you very much. So after our kickoff meeting, the next meeting will be the work meeting. So with this, we're going to bring together small groups to quickly complete work and activities for the project. Our next meeting will be discussed. Thank you.
Yeah. So for the team meetings, there are going to be several team meetings that will take place within each team. They'll usually involve sharing of the ideas, the tasks for their responsibilities, and it'll also include the progress checklist. So the next meetings will be shared by Priyanka.
Thank you very much. In addition to all the 4 meetings added above, we would require several ad hoc and stand-up meetings to discuss the burning items and to share quick ideas or take feedbacks from the project updates. This completes us for the task 1. For the next item, we will present our individual work for the forms, for the meeting forms. So the very first one would be Devi again.
Thank you, Priyanka. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the agenda template for our capstone meeting. In this agenda template, it show like when is the meeting will happen, and then where is the location, which is online in Zoom, and who is the one who make the meeting, type of the meeting, the facilitator, note taker, timekeeper, and also what we have to provide in this meeting, like what we have to bring before we come to the meeting. And then the next one is the meeting minutes. So in this meeting minutes, we'll write down like what is the decision that we made from the meetings that happened, and then we put the details all of out of the meeting, and then who is the one who came to the meeting, and then what is the agenda and what is the result and our next meeting. And then the next one will be the presentation script. So this is the script that we use during the presentation to make it run smoothly, and then it's included with the action item, agenda items, with the question, and also what is the transition and the result and the closing. So this is from mine. I'll give the next one to Saurav.
Thank you, Devi. Now I'll be sharing my screen as well. Can everyone see my document?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so now I'll be discussing my document. So first document represents the agenda template that involves our capstone project that the meeting we held last week. Then the second column displays the date of the meeting, the time, and the platform that we used, which was Zoom. I have written the goals of the meeting and the pre-work that we must do before the meeting. It involves the distribution of the task, the algorithm selection, and then the next item represents a table which represents the overall time frame of the meeting that happened. Our facilitator was Priyanka. She started each of those tasks within those time frames. My next document are the meeting minutes. Here I've represented again the date, time, and the online platform. The second involves the attendance report, like who were the participants and who were not present or present. The the third represents the agenda items, which involve the usual checklist. After that, there's a table which involves the assigned tasks that we discussed during the meeting and the specific deadline and the tasks respected to the team members. I've also added the other notes label as well, where I wrote what all the important discussions that took place. The last involves the presentation script. I have kept the presentation script short since our facilitator was Priyanka. So in general, I have involved the opening of the meeting where we greet and tell the team members regarding the agenda. The second is the closing, uh, where we'll close up the meetings or how the meeting closing should take place. The third column, I've represented the concerns which I personally felt should be discussed in that meeting. So this concludes my document. Now I would like David to share his views.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be sharing my screen.
Yes.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
So for the first form I'm going to be talking about is the agenda. So from the agenda we can see the meeting name, the meeting date. We also have the key question for the agenda of the meeting, and we're going to have the meeting attendees having. They are also going to. You can see we have the topic for the agendas, and those are going to present the following topics. We also have the action items for the agenda, and we also created the date opened and the date is going to be completed. And at the end of the agenda, we made a very key decision. So this was the decision we made. The next form is going to be the meeting objective and the meeting outcome form. For the meeting objectives, we've listed down the outcomes of the meeting, and we've shared responsibility among the stakeholders. And for the meeting objective also too, we've listed down the objectives we have for the meeting and also shared responsibility among the stakeholders. For the last form, we're going to be presenting the presentation script. So this script helps whoever is going to present to be able to present freely without having any trouble. So from it, if you go through it, you've seen the meeting opening, meeting closing, the agenda of the meeting, and also building concerns of the meeting, and also call to action of the meeting. With this, I've come to the end of my presentation. I will hand over to my next colleague to take over. Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so the first item will be the meeting agenda. I mentioned the meeting name, the meeting date, meeting time, and the project name, and there were no documents attached. These were the key questions included in the agenda, and these were the attendees. Also, we had these topics for the agenda, and then the action items, also the decision made, and these are the details of the next meeting. So the next will be the meeting outcome and objectives. The outcome is a clean data set, and the objective is the allocation of the different ML algorithms to each member. And this is the presentation script where we mentioned the opening, transition, and closing of the meeting. The opening included the introduction with the pre-processing, the presentation of the pre-processing, and the transition is about discussing the ML algorithms and allocation, and closing is by addressing particular queries, concerns, everything. That's the end of my presentation, and I hand over to Priyanka. Thank you.
Okay, I was talking on mute. So this is a template for agenda items. I filled this template for our capstone meeting, which is scheduled every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. within our group. And we conducted this during the Zoom line, and invitees were everybody from my group. We intended to share 3 agenda items regarding data analysis, data cleaning, data pre-processing, and any additional concern or challenges which team might have. So at the beginning, there were questions about should we do data analysis or cleaning individually, or should we proceed it with the group, or should we take one model each from the beginning till end and work on it completely. I will share the meeting outcome in the another template, but on this template, there were decisions made that everyone will pick and work on one ML algorithm, and they will share the final results by March 8th. Next meeting is scheduled for March 1st, where we will be discussing the progress, status, and challenges. Moving to our next template, which is an objective and outcome template. So from our meeting for Capstone project, we agreed that everyone will implement one algo each. The risk associated with that decision was that we may not have similar results to compare Apple versus Apple, because everyone will take different cleaning approach. As a risk mitigation strategy, we all agreed that by March 8th, we will share our result. We piggyback each other's logic for data cleaning, and we will so that we can adjust our own models and the data set to have the similar approach and similar data cleaning strategies. There were 5 stakeholders, and everyone is accountable for each of ML algorithms, which is listed here, and everyone agreed to get it completed by March 8th. And we adhered to the agenda, and we had meeting minutes recorded. For the presentations script, we actually gathered to discuss about the project status and next steps needed to meet the timelines. We discussed about all the 3 steps which were there in the agenda items. And for the closing, we assigned, we took one of algorithm for implementation for this project. And here are some of the meeting minutes which we added from our meeting, and the next items which we need to do while we were closing. So we will be sharing our progress on the Dropbox location, and we may have to readjust a task on ClickUp tool, which we are using for project management. So this completes our assignment number 5.